Entebbe, which is being occupied by bona fide occupants who have made it impossible for it to develop. So the recommendation is the committee recommends that 5.4 billion be provided to Uganda Research Institute to pay off the bona fide occupants and secure the land for development. Then also on page 25, there is inadequate funding for research. We can go straight to the recommendation. They need an additional 1.6 billion for research. And the second one is Uganda Research Institute mandate should be amended to cover bacteria, virus, protozoa, insects, and other microorganisms. Because you may think they are dealing with only viruses, but also some other microorganisms. Then Uganda Heart Institute, we can go to page 26. There is wage for newly approved staff structure. These are understaffed. So they need to go to the recommendation. The committee recommends that the additional wage amounting 22.89 billion be provided to Uganda Heart Institute to enable them fully operationalize the new approved staff structure and enable timely functionalization of the new expanded Heart Institute complex located in Naguru. Then the second one is super specialized training. The committee recommends an additional 0.56 billion be provided for the training. The training takes about 3 to 5 years. Then number 3, on regional cardiac centers, they are establishing cardiac centers, at least they land in Hoima and in Mbalirira, but they need, if you can go to the recommendation, they need 51 billion for the construction of the 2 cardiac centers. Then upon connection to the new home in Naguru, the committee recommended that 2.8 billion be provided to Uganda Heart Institute to connect the new Naguru Center to a dedicated power line. For the Uganda Cancer Institute, we can go it has 2 centers. We have it in Naguru and also in Mbalirira. So we can go to the recommendation. The committee recommends that 7.1 billion be provided to enable the Uganda Cancer Institute to operationalize the Guru Center and Mbalirira centers. This will help bring cancer services closer to the people in order to congest the main cancer center in Mulago. There's also inadequate supplies, medical supplies for the Cancer Institute, so they need 15.9 billion to be provided. Then there's funding for Fred Hatcher Center. The Uganda Cancer Institute Fred Hatcher Center in Kampala was established with funding from U.S. government, and the committee was informed that USAID funding for the Fred Hatcher Research Center had come to an end, so they needed 6.5, and only one billion was provided. So in the recommendation, they need 5.5 billion extra. Staff wages, they are understaffed. The committee recommends that 42 billion be provided to Uganda Cancer Institute in a phased manner, beginning with 10 billion. On page 29, inadequate funding for the nuclear medicine, that's the PET Center. The Uganda Cancer Institute is earmarked to become a regional center for excellence in terms of cancer management. This includes prevention, screening, diagnosis, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery, and carrying out research and training of health workers in the field of oncology. One such project is the positron emission tomography, that's the PET Center. This project is important for the detection of early cancer and will greatly reduce referrals abroad, and cost of PET scans will be 30% of what is paid for abroad. So the budget required for establishment of the nuclear medicine PET Center is 338 billion. The center recommends the government to prioritize acquisition of this diagnostic equipment in a phased manner. However, this has not been done. So Uganda Cancer Institute requested for a supplementary allocation of 92 billion. That was required to meet the outstanding financial obligation under PET project. Consequently, 30 billion was allocated through the supplementary funding, creating a funding gap of 62 billion. So the recommendation is, the committee recommends 62 billion be provided for clearing the outstanding obligation on establishment of the nuclear medicine facility, that's the PET center. Then we go to national medical stores. We can go straight to the page 30.